The sea is calm when the explorer man arrives at the private naval dock. A thin layer of morning mist floats above the water, hiding the silhouette of the largest hybrid ship ever built. Slowly, the fog starts to move, revealing a shape so enormous, so fluid, and so unlike any ship on Earth that it almost feels alive. The vessel stretches across the horizon in smooth curves, its surface shimmering like polished obsidian. The Abyss Voyager, valued at nearly $4 billion, is not merely a luxury megaship. It is the first marine craft that can glide across the ocean's surface and then descend beneath the waves like a living whale. Every line, every panel, every structural design of the ship echoes marine biology, blending futuristic engineering with the elegance of ocean life. The man takes his first steps onto a bridge walkway that leads directly into the main hull. The structure beneath his feet feels solid yet alive, as if the ship is breathing. The bridge is made from a titanium carbon composite, and the internal beams are wrapped in nanoflex alloys that allow slight movement without compromising stability. Engineers incorporated this bioresponsive design to imitate how whale skeletons flex under ocean pressure. It is this technology that enables the Abyss Voyager to dive beneath the surface without suffering stress fractures, a breakthrough in marine engineering that took nearly 9 years of research. As the man approaches the main entrance, colossal panels shift open silently. No hinges, no mechanical arms, only smooth gliding motion powered by magnetic induction rails. The doors reveal a breathtaking atrium glowing under soft blue lights. Inside, the first thing that catches the eye is the Abyss Dome, a towering panoramic ceiling made of reinforced aquaglass, a new polymer that can withstand extreme underwater pressure. When the ship is submerged, the entire ceiling transforms into a dome of ocean views. Guests lying on the lounge seats overhead will see manta rays, schools of fish, and even whales swimming right above them. The explorer moves deeper inside. The floor beneath him is polished crystal stone sourced from volcanic islands. Embedded microlights reflect like stars across the surface, creating the illusion of walking on a night sky. Designers intentionally use textures and colors that evoke calmness. Everything here is themed around the deep ocean, shades of sapphire, emerald, and obsidian, combined with subtle luminescent trims inspired by bioluminescent sea creatures. The ship's interior lights even adjust during underwater mode, shifting to low blue tones so as not to disturb marine life. To the right, he notices the Hydro Lounge, a vast open social area stretched along the ship's upper deck. But instead of traditional windows, it features an unbroken, curved wall of transparent marine crystal. This material, stronger than steel yet clearer than glass, provides uninterrupted views of the ocean. Guests seated on plush reclining lounges can watch the endless horizon while the ship moves silently across the water. Every piece of furniture is custom-made lightweight luxury composite, designed to remain stable whether the ship is sailing, anchored, or underwater. Further down the lounge is the ship's signature design element, a living water wall. It flows continuously from floor to ceiling, constantly recycled and purified through a microfiltration system. Engineers integrated algae-based oxygenation, meaning this wall not only decorates the space but actually refreshes the air. This ship's designers wanted every part of its architecture to breathe like the ocean around it. The man heads toward a side corridor and steps into the Abyss Transit Capsule, a small magnetic shuttle that carries guests across different decks. It operates silently along transparent tubes that offer 360-degree views. The capsule glides downward to the ship's heart, revealing massive structural beams shaped like rib arches. This central architecture mimics the skeletal structure of a whale, intentionally designed to distribute pressure during deep dives. The capsule stops at the Grand Observation Theater, one of the ship's most iconic spaces. The room is a tiered amphitheater with a fully transparent front wall spanning 2 decks tall. During surface mode, it offers views of the open sea. But when the ship dives, the wall becomes a one-way view into the deep. Engineers even added silent floodlights that can illuminate nearby water without disturbing marine life. The explorer envisions what it must feel like to sit here while thousands of fish drift past in coordinated waves. He steps out and walks toward a central pillar where holographic models rotate slowly, showing the ship's hybrid propulsion systems. The Abyss Voyager uses a triple-mode engine, surface diesel turbines, electric underwater thrusters, and a pressure-adaptive propulsion system that mimics tailfin movement. The latter feature is what gives the ship its whale-like glide underwater. The system can shift between energy modes automatically, depending on the depth and speed required. The entire propulsion network is powered by a massive energy core located near the lower hull, supported by over 200,000 lithium ceramic cells. Continuing through the corridor, the man reaches the central marine gallery, a hallway lined with interactive digital panels that display real-time ocean data, temperature, salinity, depth, and nearby marine species. Guests can tap on any icon to learn about the creatures swimming outside. Some panels show live camera feeds from the ship's external lenses. These cameras are chemical resistant and built to handle extreme pressure. When the ship submerges, multiple feeds activate, turning this gallery into a mini oceanographic laboratory. He continues toward the rear of the ship, where he discovers the luxurious Abyss suites, the ship's premier accommodations. Each suite includes its own private underwater viewing chamber, a floor-to-ceiling glass pod built into the lower hull. Owners wake up to views of drifting jellyfish and coral-like formations on the sea floor. When the ship is on the surface, the pod adjusts its opacity, instantly becoming a private cinema screen. Each suite spans nearly 1,500 square feet, with seamless furniture, mood lighting, and soft metallic trims that mimic reflective water ripples. Temperature, lighting, and oxygen levels can be controlled via personal holograph pads. The beds are designed using deep-rest marine foam, scientifically crafted to match the pressure sensations of floating. Every suite also features a personal hydro shower that simulates rainfall using mineralized water from the ship's desalination plant. Next, the man walks into the central core elevator, a cylindrical lift with panoramic transparency. The elevator descends into the lower decks, where the underwater mode systems are housed. Here, the ship's engineering becomes more evident. Massive ballast tanks line the walls, capable of shifting thousands of liters of water within seconds. These tanks allow the ship to control buoyancy and depth with incredible precision. Below the tanks, the dive stabilizers extend like fins, retractable hydro wings that adjust to underwater currents. As the elevator continues downward, the man reaches the Abyss Command Bridge, one of the ship's most restricted areas. This chamber looks nothing like a traditional maritime bridge. Instead of windows, it has a 360-degree holographic projection dome. Cameras mounted across the ship stream real-time visuals, creating a complete external view. The captain and officers stand at curved control consoles with holographic interfaces. AI-powered systems analyze weather, waves, marine life, underwater terrain, and temperature variations. This is where the ship decides when it is safe to dive. An officer demonstrates the diving interface to the explorer man. When activated, the ship lowers its stabilizers, shifts ballast water, retracts surface sails, and initiates the whale glide propulsion. The entire dive sequence takes less than 3 minutes. The officer mentions that during test dives, the ship traveled at depths that only military submarines usually reach. The Abyss Voyager is not designed for stealth or combat, but its engineering rivals some of the most advanced naval technology ever built. The man leaves the command bridge and enters the Abyss Engine Cathedral, the massive engine room. Engineers named it a cathedral because of its towering height and echoing acoustics. Rows of power cells glow soft blue, arranged like the columns of a futuristic temple. Electric thrusters hum quietly. Cooling pipes run overhead in symmetrical patterns. Even the engineering space was designed with beauty in mind. The curved arches, rib-like beams, and luminescent floor strips create an almost spiritual atmosphere. Despite being one of the largest and most complex engine rooms ever placed inside a civilian vessel, it remains silent, clean, and elegant. The man steps onto a catwalk overlooking the thruster arrays. Beneath him, water circulation turbines spin gently, designed not to injure marine life. The thrusters use vortex flow technology that mimics whale tail motion, allowing the ship to move smoothly underwater without producing harmful vibrations. As he finishes exploring the engineering deck, the ship begins preparing for a surface-to-underwater transition. The entire vessel shifts into low-light mode, the walls dim to protect wildlife, and the engines alter their frequency. The explorer man walks back to the main atrium, where passengers gather in anticipation. The Abyss Voyager is about to dive. The engines shift into a soft, whale-like hum as the Abyss Voyager prepares for its descent. The Explorer man stands in the central atrium, surrounded by passengers who have gathered for the spectacle. Overhead, the massive Abyss dome dims to a deep sapphire blue. The interior lights begin transitioning to subtle bioluminescent tones, greens, blues, purples, mimicking deep-sea organisms. A calm voice echoes across the lounge, announcing the start of the dive sequence. Outside, the ocean's surface ripples around the ship as its stabilizers extend beneath the hull. Magnetic clamps seal off the upper air decks, and the ballast tanks begin filling with immense precision. The Explorer watches through the panoramic wall as the horizon slowly tilts. For a moment, it feels as though the entire world is shifting. Then, with a smoothness that defies the ship's size, the Abyss Voyager slips below the waves. As the water closes over the transparent panels, the view transforms instantly. The brightness of the sun fades, replaced by gradients of blue. Shafts of light break through the surface above them, creating shimmering diamonds that dance across the hull. Schools of fish burst away from the ship as it glides downward, following a descent path mapped by AI sonar. Inside the atrium, a collective gasp rises. Children press their hands against the glass, adults stare in silent wonder. The Explorer man steps closer, mesmerized by the ship's quiet transformation. The vessel no longer feels like a ship, it feels like a creature returning home. The internal screens activate, showing real-time depth data. At 50 meters, the water becomes noticeably darker. The ship's external lights begin to glow, not in harsh beams but in soft diffused luminescence that blend seamlessly with the water. These were designed to mimic the glow of deep-sea life, attracting curiosity rather than startling marine creatures. The Explorer moves from the atrium into the observation corridor, a long curved hallway that runs along the ship's side. The walls here are made of reinforced marine crystal, allowing unobstructed views of the oceanic world. The corridor pulses with gentle light strips along the floor, guiding guests through the dimly lit passage. Halfway through, he pauses before a breathtaking sight, an entire school of silverfish spirals near the hull, drawn by the ship's frequency signals. Their movement is hypnotic, synchronized like a single living organism. The ship's design prevents harmful vibrations, which means marine creatures feel safe approaching. 2 dolphins appear next, swimming parallel to the corridor. Their outlines shimmer like dancing specters in the deep water. The Explorer raises his hand and the dolphins shift slightly, following his movement as if greeting him. This moment captures the essence of the Abyss Voyager, luxury meets living ocean. Continuing deeper into the ship, he enters the Abyss Spa, a sanctuary unlike any other. Soft aquatic scents fill the air. The space has floating meditation pods, hydrothermal pools with bioluminescent lighting, and zero-gravity lounges suspended above illuminated water channels. The whole design echoes ocean caves, curved walls, dim lights, and the gentle sound of flowing water. The Explorer tries a meditation pod. As he lays inside, the pod closes with a soft whoosh, and a holographic ocean ceiling appears above him. The sound of distant whales echoes faintly. The pod adjusts to match his heartbeat, gradually slowing it into deep relaxation. He feels weightless, as if he himself is drifting underwater. After leaving the spa, he follows a descending staircase into the Abyss Garden, an indoor marine botanical ecosystem. Here, rare aquatic plants thrive under carefully tuned lighting and humidity systems. Transparent water channels run through the floor, home to miniature reef environments. Researchers designed this garden to mimic the world's most fragile marine ecosystems, preserving species on the brink of endangerment. A marine biologist on staff gives the Explorer a brief explanation. Several of the plants glow faintly, bioengineered to thrive under underwater pressure simulation. The ship uses them to enhance air purification, creating one of the cleanest internal atmospheres of any vessel on Earth. The garden is both a sanctuary and a scientific marvel. The Explorer moves deeper until he finds a sealed door labeled Abyss Lab. With authorization from a crew member, he enters. Inside, the lab teams quietly around holographic displays of marine life. Robotic arms manipulate samples within pressurized tanks. The room is pristine, futuristic, filled with scientists monitoring live data from external sensors. One of them shows him the ship's most impressive scientific tool, a whale frequency communicator. Using low harmonic pulses, the ship can broadcast signals that allow it to speak in patterns whales respond to. It is not conversation, but a respectful mimicry that lets whales understand the ship is peaceful and non-threatening. As if on cue, a deep echo reverberates through the hull, a whale passing nearby. The lab's displays light up, showing a massive blue whale gliding majestically along the ship. Its enormous silhouette moves like a drifting continent. The whale's own frequency response appears on screen, acknowledging the ship's signal. The explorer stands frozen, overwhelmed by the scale and serenity of the moment. Leaving the lab, he steps back into the corridor leading toward the lower decks. This area is quieter, reserved for tech and engineering functions. The walls here have thicker reinforcements, and the lighting is dimmer, more operational and decorative. The hum of the ship is more noticeable. He arrives at the pressure transition chamber, a cylindrical glass elevator specifically built for deep dive access. Only authorized passengers can use it, but today he is granted permission. The chamber seals, and the elevator begins descending into the ship's deepest level. The walls around him gradually shift from polished interiors to raw structural metal. Massive curved beams crisscross in elegant patterns. Pipes pulse softly with biothermal liquid. The deeper he goes, the more the ship feels like an enormous living machine. At the bottom, the chamber opens into the abyss hull walkway, the lowest accessible part of the ship. Here, the ocean is only inches away. A colossal panoramic window arcs forward, wrapping the walkway in a bubble-like enclosure. This is the closest any civilian can get to the deep sea without a submarine. The explorer approaches the glass. Outside, the ocean is dark, almost black, but the ship's diffused lights reveal drifting particles, tiny creatures, and distant silhouettes. The silence is overwhelming. Here, sound seems to fade into nothing, absorbed by the weight of the sea. Suddenly, a massive shape moves beyond the glow. A shadow larger than anything the explorer has seen approaches slowly. Crew members confirm it, a giant manta ray, nearly 8 meters across. It glides gracefully above the hull, its wings sweeping like cosmic sails. For several seconds, it hovers in the water, studying the ship. Then it drifts upward and disappears into darkness. The explorer continues along the walkway until he reaches a sealed module, the Abyss sublaunch bay. This area houses 2 ultra-luxury deep-sea submersibles designed to detach from the ship and explore depths far beyond the vessel's capacity. Through the glass, he can see the subs resting in hydraulic cradles. Their curved hulls resemble deep-sea creatures, with long transparent canopies and bioluminescent striping. A technician standing nearby explains the launch process. The ship opens its lower gates, equalizes internal pressure, and releases the smaller subs into the dark. Once deployed, they glide like glowing arrowheads, mapping uncharted terrain. The explorer is fascinated. This ship is not just for ultra-rich passengers. It is a mobile research palace, merging luxury with ocean science in a way nothing else on Earth has achieved. He turns back toward the pressure transition chamber and begins ascending. As he rises, the ship's interior slowly changes from the rugged engineering design of the lower levels back to the elegant seamless luxury of the upper decks. The shift feels symbolic, as if traveling from the mechanical heart of a creature back to its mind. The elevator opens into the Abyss Lounge, where passengers gather again. The dive continues smoothly. Outside, strange deep-sea creatures drift near the hull, translucent forms with flowing tendrils, glowing bodies, and alien movements. The explorer watches them dance through the darkness, mesmerized. He takes a seat near the panoramic wall. Moments later, the captain announces through the speakers that the ship is approaching its deepest planned depth. A soft rumble passes through the hull, not from strain, but from the deployment of the deep pressure stabilizers. Then the view changes dramatically. The ship enters a vast underwater canyon. Steep rocky walls rise on both sides, covered in strange coral-like formations that glow faintly. The ocean here feels ancient, untouched by human presence. The ship moves slowly, navigating the canyon with its adaptive whale glide propulsion. Passengers fall silent. Even the children whisper. The explorer stands again, pressing closer to the glass. The scale of the place is overwhelming. This is not just a dive. It is a journey to another world. And the Abyss Voyager is the only vessel on Earth capable of bringing people here in absolute luxury and complete safety. The Abyss Voyager glides deeper into the canyon, its lights shimmering across the rugged underwater cliffs. The explorer man feels as if he's walking through the heart of a submerged world millions of years old. The ship moves in absolute silence, its pressure-adaptive hull adjusting microfractions of a millimeter as the water grows thicker and heavier around them. Every passenger senses the depth, not as fear but as awe. The explorer steps away from the panoramic wall and heads toward a restricted section that a crew member has invited him to witness, the pulse core. It is said to be the ship's most advanced system, a heart that beats like a living organism. As he enters the secure chamber, the lighting shifts to a deep amber glow. Smooth metallic walls ripple subtly, as though they are shifting under invisible forces. At the center lies a levitating sphere, slowly rotating above a magnetic base. It pulses with rhythmic waves of blue light that spread through the chamber and fade into the walls. Technicians sit at curved terminals arranged around the sphere. Their screens display real-time energy flow diagrams, sonar waves, and pressure readings. A chief engineer approaches the explorer and explains that the pulse core is the ship's adaptive stabilization engine, a system that analyzes the surrounding water pressure, ocean temperature gradients, seismic activity, and biological presence. It then adjusts the ship's movements accordingly, ensuring perfect glide and zero impact on marine life. The engineer lowers his voice slightly, revealing that the pulse core also powers the ship's cloaking system. It doesn't turn the ship invisible, but it manipulates its acoustic signature, allowing the Abyss Voyager to move like a silent shadow, no threat, no disturbance, no presence. That's why even giant creatures swim close without fear. The ship has become part of the ocean itself. After thanking the engineer, the explorer continues exploring the deeper levels. He enters the Abyss Suite, considered one of the most exclusive accommodations onboard. Inside, an entire wall is a curved transparent panel that looks directly into the canyon outside. The room is furnished with floating furniture, beds, chairs, shelves, all held in place by magnetic fields so soft they feel like air. The lighting inside the suite is smart bioluminescent. It adapts to the ocean outside, shifting from deep blue to soft turquoise, mimicking underwater dusk. A passenger stands near the window, mesmerized by drifting jellyfish that glow with soft pinks and purples. The explorer walks past without disturbing the serene atmosphere. The suite includes an immersive bath carved from a single piece of engineered glass. When filled, it synchronizes with the outside pressure, allowing the water inside to glow faintly when a creature passes nearby. Leaving the Abyss Suite, he moves upward toward the central deck, following a curved walkway lined with small water channels filled with glowing plankton. Their movement creates an effect as if stars are flowing beneath the glass floor. He arrives at the Abyss Observatory, a massive semicircular chamber constructed entirely from marine crystal panels. The ceiling curves into a transparent dome, giving a 180-degree view of the ocean above and around the ship. Guests sit on tiered lounges arranged like an underwater theater. A soft murmur runs through the crowd as something huge passes overhead. The explorer looks up. A colossal shadow drifts above the dome. Slowly, it resolves into the shape of a sperm whale. Its enormous body glides across the dome, just a few meters above. Passengers hold their breath as the whale turns slightly, revealing an either size of a dinner plate. The whale seems to pause, hovering above the dome, watching them with a calm, ancient intelligence. For a moment that feels suspended in time, the whale and the observers share the same quiet universe. The whale eventually drifts upward and disappears into the darker waters above. The room erupts into quiet applause. The explorer smiles. This is exactly what the Abyss Voyager was built for, a moment so rare and powerful that they cannot be found anywhere else. From the observatory, he heads toward the mid-deck where the ship's entertainment and dining experiences redefine luxury. He enters the Abyss Hall, an open space with a ceiling made of layered transparent panels holding bioengineered organisms that shimmer in waves. As he walks, the ceiling lights up in cascading patterns, following his movement. It's as though the ship recognizes him. The hall transitions into the Abyss dining atrium. Instead of traditional lighting, the tables glow softly from within. The dishes use naturally luminescent marine ingredients harvested from sustainable ocean farms. Chefs prepare meals behind glass walls, their movements graceful and synchronized. A waiter describes one of the ship's specialties, deep-sea truffle foam infused with kelp essence, served with chilled plankton pearls. The explorer doesn't stay to dine but admires the atmosphere before moving on. For guests, this is a once-in-a-lifetime gastronomic experience. He then enters the Abyss Navigation Theatre, a space normally off-limits to passengers. A crew member grants him entry as part of his special exploration access. Inside, holographic projections cover the walls and ceiling, real-time 3D mappings of the ship, the canyon, marine life patterns, and temperature layers. The captain stands at the center, monitoring the ship's path. The explorer watches as AI projections calculate potential routes, analyzing thousands of microcurrents and geological formations. He realizes the ship isn't simply following a predetermined path, it is actively reading the ocean, predicting movements, and adjusting itself like a deep-sea creature. The captain describes how the system works in harmony with marine animals, avoiding migration paths and preventing disturbances. A sudden surge of movement on the hologram catches the captain's eye. A cluster of large creatures is approaching. The projection zooms in to reveal a pod of orcas. The cabin lights dim slightly as the ship adapts its frequency. When the explorer returns to the observation deck, the orcas are gliding alongside the ship. Their black and white bodies cut through the water with effortless grace. One of them rushes forward and spins playfully, creating spirals of bubbles that float upward. Passengers cheer softly. The explorer laughs for the first time on this journey, captivated by the orcas' energy. They are curious, not afraid, and the Abyss Voyager matches their pace, turning their presence into a breathtaking natural show. After the orcas disappear into the distant blue, the ship continues deeper along the canyon until the walls widen into a massive chamber of open water. This is the Twilight Basin, a hidden underwater valley illuminated by glowing reefs. The Abyss Voyager slows to a near hover, letting its passengers absorb the view. The explorer walks toward the Infinity Bridge, a transparent walkway that extends outward from the ship during special moments like this. He steps onto the bridge. The sea stretches in every direction, tinted in mysterious deep purple hues. The bridge seems to float in nothingness. Beneath his feet, strange glowing shapes drift slowly, creatures with long tendrils and shimmering bodies. For a moment, he feels as if he's floating between worlds. As he continues walking, the bridge subtly curves, bringing him closer to the edge. The ship maintains perfect stability. His reflection mixes with drifting bioluminescent organisms below, creating a surreal blend of human and marine shape. Returning inside, he explores the Abyss Cinema next, a hall where the walls transform into high-resolution windows. But instead of movie projections, the cinema displays a live feed of the surrounding deep ocean. The ship's lights dim, and the seats recline automatically as the underwater environment becomes the true film. A shark glides across the view, its silhouette cutting through the darkness like a silent blade. The explorer sits for several minutes, watching the endless ballet of underwater life. Eventually, he heads to the upper level, where a crew member invites him into the Loomis control deck, the command room for the ship's lighting and visual systems. Screens show the synchronization between the ship's lights and the surrounding water. The entire lighting system is bio-patterned to avoid disturbing deep-sea creatures. The control team adjusts colors and intensities based on real-time behavior of nearby animals. A technician explains that when jellyfish appear, the ship's lights dim to a soft pastel to mimic their natural environment. When large creatures like whales or orcas are present, the ship shifts to warm tones to signal peaceful presence. It's a complex ballet of technology and ecology. From there, the explorer returns to the main atrium. A gentle announcement plays, the ship will now ascend toward mid-depth. The lights gradually brighten as the vessel begins rising slowly. Outside, the canyon walls fade into the distance. Pressure stabilizers retract one by one with soft mechanical sighs. As they rise, the water becomes lighter. More fish appear. Color returns to the ocean. Then a stunning sight unfolds, a school of thousands of tiny silver fish sweeping in a massive spiral formation around the ship. The motion is synchronized, like a swirling vortex of stars. Passengers gather around the panoramic walls. The explorer stands near them, absorbing the spectacle. The fish swirl faster, forming patterns that shimmer like liquid light. Higher still, sunlight begins filtering through. Shafts of gold pierce the water, turning the ocean into a glowing cathedral. The ship ascends through the beams of light, creating a majestic scene that feels almost divine. Finally, with a silent burst of bubbles, the Abyss Voyager breaks the surface. Water cascades down its sleek hull, shining like molten silver. The sky above is bright, cloudless, endless. The explorer steps out onto the sky deck. Wind brushes against his face. The ocean stretches forever. The ship hums gently, returning to its cruise mode. He looks back at the path they came from, the world hidden beneath the waves, untouched, ancient, alive. The Abyss Voyager has shown him something few humans will ever witness. Not just luxury. The Abyss Voyager glides across the surface for only a short time before shifting into its hybrid cruising mode. The explorer man walks along the sky deck, feeling the subtle vibrations beneath his feet as the ship transitions from deep ocean stabilization to surface-level glide. It feels like a living creature adjusting its muscles after surfacing for a breath. The crew has opened the panoramic outer-tier walkways where ocean spray flicks gently across the glass barriers, leaving shimmering droplets that catch the sunlight. He observes the passengers gathering near the upper-level lounges, some taking photos of the ship's gigantic wings retracting smoothly into the hull. Others watch drones glide overhead, acting as the ship's eyes in the sky. These drones scan weather patterns, monitor wave activity, and project holographic overlays directly into the crew visor feeds. Everything is controlled through a seamless fusion of AI and organic engineering. Nothing feels mechanical, it all moves smoothly, almost gracefully, like a biological organism responding to the rhythm of the sea. A soft chime echoes across the deck, signaling that the hydrolift bay is ready for passengers. The explorer moves toward it. Transparent elevator tubes extend outward from the ship like curved branches, lowering all the way to the water's surface. Inside each tube, passengers stand on floating glass platforms that hover using magnetic stabilization. The explorer steps into one, and the transparent door seals behind him with a soft whisper. The platform lowers slowly into the water, stopping just inches above the surface. Below him, waves ripple in slow motion. Beyond the tube walls, he can see the ship's vast hull, smooth, reflective, and shimmering like deep metallic sapphire. It stretches downward and outward, giving him a sense of scale that he had previously underestimated. From up close, it's easy to forget this is a human-made vessel. It looks more like a sea creature sculpted by nature over millennia. The platform travels horizontally, sliding smoothly across the water level. The explorer watches the hydrolift pods, small, autonomous subvessels, attached along the lower hull. Guests climb inside them through sleek glass entry hatches. These tiny pods allow people to explore shallow water regions independently while staying tethered to the Abyss Voyager's navigation grid for safety. The pods look like glowing pearls when activated, their soft halos visible beneath the waves. As the platform rises to reconnect with the main deck, the explorer steps back into the ship, heading toward the Cyclora corridor, one of the most visually striking parts of the Abyss Voyager. It's a long hallway lined with fluid dynamic walls. They shift and ripple like water despite being made of hardened composite materials. The lighting inside the corridor reacts to the traveler's pace, sending soft waves of light that follow the explorer's footsteps. Halfway through the corridor, he passes a group of passengers heading toward the Abyss Fitness Reef. Intrigued, he follows. Upon entering, he sees a massive glass-bottom chamber where people exercise while watching the ocean beneath them. Treadmills and workout platforms float on magnetic rails, allowing users to adjust height depending on how much of the ocean they want visible beneath their feet. Lights under the glass shift between icy blues and warm golds, mimicking underwater light cycles. The explorer moves on, stepping into the Arctic chamber, a temperature-controlled sanctuary designed to simulate the stillness of the far north. It's not cold in a harsh way, instead, it carries a crisp, refreshing bite. Ice sculptures decorate the room, each carved from lab-created crystal that refracts blue-white light across the walls. A group of guests relax on heated lounges, sipping warm herbal drinks that emit soft trails of steam. The contrast between the warmth of the lounge chairs and the cool air creates a soothing balance. He continues toward the heliosphere deck, passing through another sealed door. This part of the ship is dedicated to solar energy systems that also serve as a massive sky lounge. The dome overhead is made of transparent solar glass, absorbing sunlight and converting it into clean energy. Comfortable seating lines the circular room. Guests look up at the sky without realizing that every ray of sunlight is helping to power the engines, lighting, and life support systems. Crew members stand by showing holographic models of the ship's energy usage. The explorer watches as the models shift from sunlight to hydrodynamic turbine power once the ship dives again. Everything is interconnected: the sun, the sea currents, even pressure variances in deep water. No wasted energy, no pollution, no fuel dependency. This ship is the ultimate eco-luxury creation, and he is witnessing every hidden layer of it. The explorer moves through another corridor and reaches the Serenus Lounge. This room is designed to feel like a floating oasis. Transparent pillars hold shimmering micro-waterfalls that run continuously, cooling and humidifying the space. Aromatic diffusers blend soft hints of ocean breeze and fresh mint. The furniture is plush but minimalistic, aligning with the ship's smooth crystalline aesthetic. Some guests sit near the edge of the lounge, where the transparent floor panels reveal the ship's stabilizers adjusting gently beneath them. A crew member approaches the explorer and informs him that the Abyss Voyager is preparing for a special operation, a deep circle rotation. This maneuver allows the ship to position itself vertically for a short period, giving passengers a look at the ocean below through the underbelly viewing lens. Only a handful of vessels in the world can perform this safely. Excited, he follows the crew toward the underbelly chamber. The room is massive, dark at first, until the ship gives a low vibration. Slowly, the chamber lights rise to reveal the underbelly lens, an enormous circular viewing window stretching nearly 40 feet wide. It faces directly downward into the ocean. Passengers gather around the edges. The explorer stands close to the glass. Then, with a gentle shift, the ship tilts into its vertical stance. Nothing feels uncomfortable, the motion is perfectly balanced. The underbelly window now points straight into the deep blue abyss beneath them. From this angle, the sea looks infinite. Sunlight pours down through shimmering beams, illuminating patches of coral far below. Small creatures dart between shadows. Larger ones glide in the distant dark. The effect is breathtaking, like staring into a living universe. Suddenly, a massive manta ray drifts beneath the ship, its wingspan stretching wider than the lens itself. The creature glides effortlessly, circling before drifting back into the darker depths. Passengers gasp softly. To experience nature like this, from the vantage point of a descending leviathan, feels unreal. The ship returns gently to its normal orientation. The explorer moves deeper inside, entering the resonance hall, a room filled with vertical crystal rods that vibrate in harmonic frequencies. When the ship travels at certain depths, the rods resonate with ocean frequencies, creating natural ambient music. The explorer sits for a moment, listening to the calming tones that fill the hall. The sound is soothing, like a blend of deep-sea hums and distant winds. Moving forward, he reaches the Abyss Spa, a luxurious sanctuary offering treatments inspired by the ocean. Heated stone beds shaped like gentle waves cradle guests as automated systems deliver massages using hydro-pressure pulses. Salt-infused steam chambers cleanse the air. The explorer sees guests immersed in floating tanks filled with warm mineral water. Lights shift from pastel blues to soft greens, mimicking the peaceful rhythm of shallow reefs at dawn. Continuing onward, he explores the Prestige Bridge suites, where high-profile guests stay. Each suite includes a private glass balcony that extends outward from the ship. The explorer walks into one that's currently unoccupied. The balcony unfolds with flawless precision. When he steps onto it, his view becomes entirely ocean, front, sides, and below. The feeling is like standing in midair above an endless blue world. Not far from the suites, he wanders into the Crest Gallery, a space dedicated to marine-inspired digital art. Walls display holographic sculptures that shift and change based on viewer interaction. As he passes one sculpture, it transforms from a swirling spiral into a luminous jellyfish-like form. The gallery blends technology and creativity seamlessly, turning art into an evolving experience. As he walks toward the stern, a soft alarm pings, gentle and non-threatening. It means a marine presence has been detected close to the underwater hull. The explorer moves to the observation lounge just in time to see a young humpback whale swimming alongside the ship. The creature is calm, curious, and unafraid. Its enormous eye glances toward the lounge window before it drifts upward for air. The ship responds by dimming its hull lights, respecting the whale's natural behavior. Passengers whisper in amazement. The explorer stands silently, watching the whale's giant silhouette dissolve into the sunlit upper waters. After the whale departs, the ship begins preparing for its sunset descent, one of its signature experiences. The explorer walks to the upper decks, where passengers gather with quiet excitement. The sky outside is beginning to transition into warm oranges and reds. The captain's voice echoes gently through the speakers, inviting all guests to enjoy the golden dive. The Abyss Voyager slowly tilts downward, positioning its nose toward the depths. The sunset reflects across the water's surface, creating a fiery golden layer. The ship pierces the surface again. Water flows upward across the panoramic walls like liquid gold. The deeper they descend, the more the colors shift, orange to copper, copper to deep red, then finally to soft twilight blue. The explorer watches every stage of the descent. The ocean becomes cooler in color, darker, calmer. Lights from the ship glow like descending stars. Marine life glimmers faintly in the darkness, reflecting distant rays of fading sunlight. As the ship settles at mid-depth for nighttime cruising, bioluminescent creatures emerge from the shadows. The explorer leans forward, mesmerized. Tiny specks of light drift past the glass. Larger organisms flash turquoise and violet, creating trails that stretch like stardust across the ocean. Guests gather on every viewing level to witness what looks like the universe pulled underwater. Night has fallen. The Abyss Voyager continues its silent glide into the illuminated world of the deep. The explorer moves deeper into the lower decks of the Abyss Voyager, entering the most restricted and technically advanced region of the entire vessel, the engine core complex. This section is normally sealed behind titanium alloy blast doors, but since he's documenting the ship for a full tour, the systems are placed into safe mode, granting controlled access. The temperature drops slightly, and the sound changes from silence to a low, rhythmic pulse, the vibration of ultra-dense magnetic turbines spinning with unbelievable precision. The engine core of the Abyss Voyager is unlike anything found in conventional ships. Instead of combustion engines or diesel-electric propulsion, it uses a tricore hybrid cluster made from quantum-locked superconductors combined with pressure-resistant microturbines. Each turbine floats in a magnetically neutral chamber, meaning no physical contact with its housing, reducing friction almost to zero. This allows incredible efficiency both above and below water. The explorer approaches the transparent armored chamber surrounding the engine cluster. Inside, 3 cylindrical turbine units rotate silently, illuminated with a deep blue glow. Each core is capable of producing enough power to move a 300,000-ton ship underwater while maintaining full life support and seal integrity. When all 3 operate together, the ship reaches its maximum underwater cruising speed of 55 knots, something no other civilian vessel can achieve at such pressure depths. Behind the turbines lies the energy conversion grid, where excess kinetic energy from water flow is harvested and stored. The ship's movement through water generates a constant stream of power, meaning the deeper it dives and the more water pressure it encounters, the more efficiently it generates energy. This is the principle behind its self-recharging capability. While not fully infinite, it massively reduces fuel dependence. From here, the Explorer continues to the thermal regulation hall, a long passage where the ship maintains its internal temperature despite near-freezing ocean depths. The walls are lined with heat exchange panels that absorb external cold and circulate warmth throughout the vessel. These panels are coated with a bioresistant film that prevents deep-sea organisms from attaching or corroding the surface. It ensures the Abyss Voyager can go months underwater without resurfacing for cleaning or maintenance. Next, he enters the pressure neutralization bay, one of the ship's most important innovations. This system uses a network of smart membranes that redistribute pressure evenly across the hull. Instead of a rigid solid structure fighting the weight of the ocean, the hull behaves like a flexible exoskeleton, absorbing force and dispersing it. This is what allows the ship to reach crushing depths without risking structural breach. The Explorer walks along a raised catwalk overlooking massive spherical chambers filled with adaptive gel. When the ship dives deeper, these chambers compress and expand, countering external forces. It's an active system, constantly adjusting itself, making the Abyss Voyager more similar to a whale than a conventional submarine. Moving from engineering to science, the Explorer enters the Subsurface Research Division, a multi-floor facility dedicated to studying deep ocean life and geology. This area alone cost nearly $600 million to develop. The labs are equipped with high-grade electron microscopes, environmental chambers that can replicate ocean pressure, and scanning systems that detect chemical signatures in the water. The first lab is the Marine Biology Gallery, featuring an array of live research tanks. These tanks simulate various conditions the ship encounters on expeditions. Some are cold and dimly lit, representing the deep sea. Others simulate volcanic vents with bubbling gas streams. The Explorer walks past several tanks containing rare organisms documented during early missions, bioluminescent jelly forms, pressure-resistant crustaceans, and strange eel-like creatures never seen above 5,000 meters. The tanks are labeled with scientific data, indicating habitat depth, feeding behavior, and pressure tolerance. Further inside is the genomics lab, where samples collected during dives are analyzed. The ship uses automated retrieval drones that collect microorganisms and sediments from the seafloor. These samples are brought here and examined under massive data screens displaying DNA maps. The goal of these studies is not only to catalog unknown species but also to discover biological compounds that could be used in medicine, energy storage, or advanced materials. The Explorer documents the Mineralogy and Geologic Core Lab, a section dedicated to studying seafloor rocks, hydrothermal vent minerals, and rare earth elements. Lockers contain categorized samples arranged in transparent, pressure-safe boxes. Some minerals glow faintly under UV light, evidence of radioactive isotopes. Others have crystalline structures impossible to form in low-pressure environments. On the far side of the lab, a vertical core sample machine occupies the entire height of the room. It's used to slice rock cylinders retrieved from 10 kilometers below the ocean floor. Each slice is analyzed for age, density, and chemical composition. These studies help researchers understand tectonic movement, volcanic activity, and the origin of certain metals. Next, the Explorer visits the Environmental Simulation Room, a sealed chamber that recreates deep-sea storms and water currents. This room allows the crew to test equipment, suits, and structural components under extreme conditions before deploying them in real expeditions. Inside, mechanical arms generate powerful bursts of pressure and turbulence, simulating what the ship might face near underwater ridges or descending canyons. After leaving the labs, the Explorer steps into the underwater drone hangar, a massive space containing the Abyss Voyager's fleet of research drones. These drones range from small reconnaissance units to heavy deep mining prototypes. Each drone is stored in charging brackets along the wall, glowing with soft indicator lights. Some drones feature articulated arms, while others resemble torpedoes equipped with cameras and sample collectors. Central to the hangar is the largest drone, the Abyssal Ranger, a 40-foot autonomous craft capable of descending to 12,000 meters, far deeper than the ship itself. It communicates with the Voyager through quantum link relays that function even in electromagnetic distorted zones where typical signals fail. This drone is used for exploring trenches, underwater volcanoes, and unknown zones where no human can safely go. The Explorer then moves into the Operations Coordination Center, where all drone activity, scientific missions, and navigation tasks are monitored. Massive curved screens display maps of the surrounding ocean, sonar readings, pressure levels, and marine traffic. Operators sit in advanced motion chairs controlling drones with holographic control panels. Every dive is recorded in 16K resolution and archived in the ship's central database. A dedicated team of analysts works here full-time, tracking seismic shifts, underwater currents, biological movements, and temperature changes. The Abyss Voyager doesn't just explore, it observes the ocean in real time, contributing data to global research networks. Next, the Explorer reaches the hydroacoustic monitoring deck, a sound analysis chamber located near the lower hull. This area is equipped with massive audio arrays capable of detecting whale calls, seismic vibrations, and even the movement of submarines hundreds of kilometers away. The hydrophones are so sensitive they can record the sound of deep-sea vents releasing gas. The purpose is scientific, but also safety-related, detecting underwater hazards long before they arrive. Just beside the sound deck is the seafloor mapping room, where the ship's advanced LiDAR sonar fusion scanners compile detailed maps of underwater mountain ranges, trenches, and continental shelves. The displays show 3D topographical models with incredible precision right down to rock formations and sediment layers. This technology makes the Abyss Voyager one of the world's most advanced private mapping vessels. After documenting the research zone, the Explorer heads deeper into the belly of the ship toward the Structural Integrity Hall, a maintenance area where robotic arms constantly scan the hull's inner layers. As the ship experiences pressure changes, micro-adjustments occur. The arms perform stress tests, material analysis, and structural repairs without human intervention. This is why the Abyss Voyager can complete multi-month underwater journeys without needing dry dock service. The Explorer also passes the water filtration and oxygen generation facility, an essential part of life support. The ship uses a dual system, desalination for fresh water and electrolysis modules to generate oxygen from seawater. This makes the vessel self-sustaining even during long missions. Large purification tanks hum gently as water circulates through complex membranes. The air remains clean due to high-output co-scrubbers similar to those used in spacecraft. Finally, he enters the main reactor observatory, a protected deck overlooking the ship's power storage system. Rows of crystalline battery towers line the room, each tower filled with energy-dense cells capable of holding power at extreme pressures. The design is inspired by deep-sea creatures whose internal structures withstand heavy force. The cells maintain stability even at crushing depths and store enough power to run the ship for days even if all turbines shut down. Throughout this entire section, the Explorer highlights how each system contributes not only to underwater travel but to extended survival, scientific advancement, and exploration in areas previously unreachable for humans. The Abyss Voyager isn't just a ship, it's a fully autonomous deep-ocean research ecosystem, engineered to descend farther, stay longer, and study more deeply than any other vessel created. The Explorer now enters the final and most restricted region of the Abyss Voyager, the mission vaults. These vaults hold all classified data, expedition logs, equipment prototypes, and archived discoveries gathered from deep-sea missions. The vault corridor is built from layered titanium composite plates, with biometric scanners securing every door. A single long hallway stretches forward, illuminated with cool white lighting that gives the area a sterile and highly protected feel. Each vault room is temperature-controlled and pressure-stabilized. The first vault contains historical expedition logs, all stored in holographic data slabs. These slabs can project 3D maps of past expeditions, including seafloor topography, recorded marine life encounters, and geological scans. The Explorer points out one particular display showing a full 3D reconstruction of a trench explored during the vessel's first trial mission, rough terrain, lava chimneys, and rare life forms highlighted in red markers. These logs are crucial for planning future dives. The next vault stores deep ice core samples, collected from oceanic regions previously inaccessible. These cores reveal climate history from over hundreds of thousands of years. Each cylinder is held in a cryogenic cradle, glowing softly behind transparent shielding. Labels indicate pressure levels, depth origins, and chemical composition. Some samples even contain preserved microorganisms that scientists study for evolutionary clues. A larger vault holds recovered seafloor artifacts. Inside, pressure-rated display cases present strange items retrieved from ancient shipwrecks, collapsed underwater cities, and geologic formations. Some artifacts appear metallic with corrosion patterns unique to extreme depths, others resemble sculpted stones shaped by unknown cultures. Everything is catalogued precisely. The explorer highlights a rusted circular object believed to be part of a forgotten seafaring device found at 4,800 meters. These discoveries are kept hidden to prevent illegal salvaging or exploitation. The final vault is the prototype technology storage unit, where experimental tools and devices are kept. Advanced diving suits, pressure-resistant tools, and autonomous robot components line the walls. Some suits feature exoframes designed to withstand 1,000 atmospheres of pressure, others are lightweight exploration suits for shallow dives. A table in the center displays experimental sonar modules and drone sensor upgrades. These technologies are always tested onboard before global release. Leaving the vaults, the explorer moves into the emergency response sector. This massive deck is built to handle every underwater scenario the ship could face. The first chamber is the flood response control hub, where automatic sealing systems and bulkhead stabilizers are monitored. Screens show pressure levels across every hull layer. If a breach ever occurred, the system would instantaneously isolate the affected zone and deploy reinforcement foam to prevent water intrusion. The explorer notes how the ship is segmented into 42 independent pressure blocks, something no cruise ship or submarine usually has. Next is the life support redundancy station, which contains backup oxygen generators, water purification modules, and battery reserves. These systems can keep the entire crew alive for 30 days even if the primary engines shut down. Rows of oxygen capsules are fitted inside transparent containers, while energy reserves line the room in shielded stacks. Every module is designed for quick replacement by automated arms. The explorer then checks the escape submersible bay, a crucial part of underwater safety. Here, 2 fully autonomous minisubs are stored, each capable of carrying 12 people to the surface even from extreme depths. These escape pods have their own air supplies, sonar navigation, and emergency beacons. They can detach from the vessel and rise using controlled buoyancy. The pods are spherical, built from hyper-thick titanium alloy to resist crushing pressures. After completing the safety sector, the explorer climbs toward the command and navigation deck, the highest operational level of the Abyss Voyager. The command deck resembles a futuristic control center featuring a panoramic curved viewport built from transparent aluminum composite, strong enough to withstand depths of over 6,000 meters. This reinforced observation panel gives the navigators a wide, clear view during surface travel. The navigation consoles are arranged in a semicircular layout, each built with holographic interfaces. Pilots control the ship through gesture-sensitive panels, while data streams display real-time pressure distribution, seafloor mapping, current speed, sonar feedback, and energy consumption. Artificial intelligence assists with route planning, automatically adjusting trim, angle, and propulsion balance to maintain smooth travel during deep dives. A secondary room behind the main helm is dedicated to sonar analytics and threat detection. The sonar wall spans the entire length of the chamber, projecting a 3D holographic map of all surrounding ocean activity. Marine life appears as moving forms, geological formations as textured surfaces, and potential threats, like fast-moving objects or rising volcanic activity, are highlighted in color-coded indicators. This system ensures total situational awareness even in pitch-black underwater environments. The explorer then examines the communication nexus, where encrypted data links connect the ship to satellites when near the surface and to deep ocean relay drones when far below. These systems allow live-streamed scientific updates, emergency transmissions, and remote collaboration with research centers worldwide. The communication center is reinforced with radiation shielding to protect sensitive electronics from geomagnetic interference. Moving past operations, the explorer reaches the crew habitat district, which occupies an entire mid-level section. This area contains dormitories, lounges, fitness rooms, and dining halls designed for long underwater missions. The sleeping pods feature adjustable lighting, sound isolation, and pressure-stable frames. The lounges have panoramic virtual windows showing real-time footage from external cameras around the ship. This helps with psychological comfort during long periods without natural sunlight. The dining area is equipped with automated food stations capable of preparing meals from freeze-dried ingredients stored in climate vaults. A hydroponic farm nearby grows leafy vegetables, herbs, and small fruits using UV lighting and nutrient-rich water systems. This reduces dependency on surface resupply and gives crew access to fresh produce during months-long missions. Further along, the Explorer documents the medical and surgical bay, a complete healthcare suite equipped with diagnostic scanners, emergency treatment units, pressure-safe operating tables, and robotic assistance arms. The med bay includes decompression chambers, essential for treating any diver or drone operator exposed to pressure anomalies. There's also a pharmacy vault stocked with medication designed to remain stable under deep-sea temperature variations. As the Explorer heads upward, he reaches the final major area, the luxury observation and living sector, built to accommodate VIP guests, researchers, and private expedition partners. While most of the ship is industrial and scientific, this upper region brings in high-comfort features. The first area is the panoramic dome, a large viewport dome made from layered transparent alloy. It extends outward from the ship's hull, giving an unobstructed view of the ocean whether the ship is at the surface or submerged. Cushioned seating surrounds the dome, with ambient lighting that adjusts automatically based on outside brightness. Here, passengers can watch marine life swim by or observe deep-sea darkness illuminated by the ship's lights. Adjacent to the dome are luxury cabins, each featuring soft interiors, pressure-neutral insulation, personal climate control, and private observation screens. These rooms offer a hotel-like experience while maintaining safety at underwater depths. The bathrooms use desalinated, filtered water, and all plumbing is built to withstand pressure changes. A floating sky lounge sits at the very top of the vessel, accessible only when the ship is not diving. This lounge faces the open air on the surface and transforms into a sealed observation room when submerged. It includes premium seating, a small bar, and real-time holographic displays showing the ship's route and statistics. There is also a recreation deck featuring a compact gym with magnetic resistance equipment, chosen because free weights are unsafe underwater. The deck includes VR travel pods where passengers can experience simulations of coral reefs, volcanic vents, and aerial ocean views. The Explorer continues to the helipad and drone deployment terrace located on the rear upper deck. When the ship is at the surface, helicopters can land here for resupply or passenger transfer. Heavy drones used for scanning and mapping missions are also launched from this deck using magnetic rail systems. These drones can fly above the ocean surface to capture atmospheric data before returning to the ship for recharging. Finally, the Explorer arrives at the captain's private control suite, the most exclusive area on board. This suite includes a personal command console, emergency override systems, encrypted communication lines, and a compact living section for the captain. This ensures that even if the main decks are compromised, the ship can still be controlled from this isolated chamber. As he concludes his full exploration of the Abyss Voyager, the Explorer highlights the ship's defining purpose, not just luxury or travel, but deep-sea mastery. The vessel represents advanced engineering, autonomous research technology, unmatched safety systems, and the ability to uncover secrets hidden for millions of years beneath the ocean. With the engineering decks, research labs, emergency systems, navigation control, crew habitats, luxury areas, and observation lounges all documented, the Abyss Voyager stands fully revealed as one of the most advanced underwater megaships ever built.